What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode number 85 now of the Leeds United career mode. And in today's episode, we start the episode off with a simmed game here against Newcastle. As we, in fact, if you haven't seen the last episode, go back and watch it, because I'm about to spoil what happened. So go back and watch that last episode if you haven't seen it. But if you're still on this video and you haven't, now click off, because I'm going to spoil it. We did, in fact, win the Premier League title at Old Trafford. So, of course, you all know that from the last episode. We went over there to Old Trafford and took on United and managed to outplay them on their own ground and win the Premier League title there. So, Premier League games no longer matter to us. Of course, it still matters in a sense because we don't want to lose any more than we already have. We've only lost one game all season long, and that was to Chelsea. So it still matters in that sense, but at the same time, there's nothing else we can do in the Premier League. But, guys, we have the first leg of the Champions League semi-final. So we'll be going to Old Trafford twice within consecutive episodes as we look to go back to Old Trafford and get a similar result to what we had there when we, in fact, wrapped up the title. So that'll be in the back end of this episode. But we start the episode off here, travelling to Riverside to take on Middlesbrough. Now, Borough have been a side in this career mode so far that seem to always have a perfect start against us. We cannot ever get a good start against Middlesbrough here. So I'm hoping that in this game it's going to be much different. If you didn't watch last episode as well, guys, it was completely live. If there's any important games, such as obviously that one there was sort of important because it was wrapping up the Premier League title with a title decider against Man United. If we get to the Champions League final, we may play that live we will definitely play that live as well. So any finals from now on will probably be played live, and of course anything else that's important will be played live as well. But now we're back in post-com, and we're here at the Riverside here looking to pick up another 3 points. And you can see the league table, we are just miles out in front, and we pretty much wrapped up the title last episode. So this game against Middlesbrough, I'm not going to be naming any strong teams in terms of what I could obviously name. I will still name Martial and a couple of other players in the side, of course, because we're still chasing the golden boot with Anthony Martial, and we're still chasing a few more goals with Ahmed El Ghazi. But I think in today's game, I started with Patrick Rose and Emre Moore up front, which is a bit different to what we usually start with. You can see the team there. It is actually Patrick Rose and Emre Moore. Rose, of course, the youth academy player that came through the academy and is now a 77 rated striker, so not too bad there. Never going to get in the Leeds United side other than now when, of course, we're switching it around for fitness. He's just not good enough, and simple as that. But we got ourselves underway here, and it actually was Middlesbrough with the first chance in the game. They caused me a lot of danger early on in this one, and Pereira goes close there with a shot just going wide of the target inside the 18th minute, and they ended up hitting the bar here. It's Gaston Ramirez, lovely little 1-2, I think, in the end, or actually he beats a man first, then he gets a 1-2, well, a sort of a 1-2, gives it into Mark Deroon, actually. Or Martin Deroon, is it? And Deroon ends up hitting the strike on against the bar, so I was very frustrated at the fact, again, we didn't get off to a good start against Middlesbrough, but we had the chance to take the lead here in this one as Patrick Rose, lovely ball into Christian Eriksen, low-driven shot, and there's only one outcome when it's in that position, and that is a goal. So, we didn't start off good. We didn't have a good first half either. Middlesbrough won the first half, in my opinion. They were the better team throughout the majority of that first half, but were unable to get the goal that they needed, and had they have got that goal, it could have been a much different game. Of course, they hit the bar from that one, though. Slightly unfortunate for them, but at the same time, fortunate for us. Then we capitalised in the second half with our first chance pretty much the entire game coming in at the hands of Christian Eriksen, and he gets us off perfectly. Then Middlesbrough with a corner here, comes into the area, and somehow it's not in the back of the net. I couldn't quite believe it, the fact we were still leading this game by a goal to nil here, and into the dying minutes of the second half here. Eriksen on the ball again, sees the run of Hadi Sakho. I saw the run on the back post of Lewis Baker here, and the cross had to be perfect from Hadi Sakho, and how about that from Lewis Baker? Weak foot, left foot volley, bottom corner, 5-star weak foot, as cool as you like. So fantastic goal in the end from Lewis Baker. But the cross, it's all about the cross from Hadi Sakho. It just set up perfectly for Baker to volley that into the bottom corner. And even though Middlesbrough get a good go here, we were still going to come out as victors in the game. So 2-0 victory here, another 3 points in the Premier League. Of course, it doesn't matter now. All that matters is the Champions League run that we are currently in. But a good performance nonetheless from a team in which I'm not naming too many strong names in that list. So there you go, a 2-0 victory. Anthony Martial did not start, and of course Ahmed El Ghazi did not play either. So neither of them on the score sheet today, of course, because they didn't play the game at all. But at the same time, it's sort of okay because, you know, even though they haven't obviously started this one, there's still a number of Premier League games to go. And I think Anthony Martial right now is on 17 Premier League goals. So he's actually, in terms of where he is, he's actually further ahead than what anybody else is. So I think we're sort of comfortable right now. I don't think Martial's going to be caught between now and the end of the season. So if I wanted to, I could afford to not have to play him in any Premier League games, but I'm still going to want to play him anyway just to make sure that he does actually get that golden boot. And we will have it here at Leeds United in 2 successive seasons. Of course, Anwar El Ghazi winning it last season when we won the Premier League, and this season it will come at the hands of Anthony Martial. It was a bit disappointing with the fact that Anwar El Ghazi was injured, because it could have been a bit more interesting seeing who would get it out of him and Martial. But of course, the injury to Anthony Martial at the start of the season stopped him, and then the injury to Anwar El Ghazi stopped him. So they were both out injured. I think Anwar's was slightly more than Anthony Martial's. I might actually got that wrong there. It could actually be the other way around, but I can't quite remember. But Martial ultimately is going to finish as the top scorer in the Premier League, and that's what I think anyways. But we have the all-important first leg game here against Manchester United at Old Trafford. We came here last episode, outplayed them completely, played them off the park, and we were thoroughly deserving of the victory we got there. Back into the strongest possible lineup there. You can see Januzaj, Green, Emre Can, Barkley, Martial, El Ghazi, Grimaldo, Vertonghen. Some crazy players playing on the day for us. But the question is, guys, can we pick up the victory that we all so importantly need? We need at least an away goal here. I'd take a 1-1 draw and then have to go to our ground, of course. But at the same time, I do not want to concede. I want to get the away goal, but I want to make sure that we don't concede as well. So that means ultimately I have to win the game. United here against Leeds. It's a fixture we all know about down the years. It's been such a crazy fixture for a number of seasons. And of course, Old Trafford, the stage is set yet again here for the second time within successive episodes. It's our strongest lineup. Lou back in the team. Lou is absolutely incredible, guys. The Chinese goalkeeper just seems to be the best goalkeeper I've used in any career mode. I know Leno came in and had a good season with us in his first season. He made a couple of mistakes this season, which has actually forced him out of the team and allowed Lou to come in. But Lou's not put a foot wrong since coming into this Leeds United team, and that is an absolutely incredible achievement. When you've got the likes of Leno breathing down your neck as a fantastic goalkeeper as he is, to have these two at the club, it's just, I'm blessed basically, because I can literally call up any of them and I know that they're going to do a job. At the moment, though, like I say, Lou is probably the better of the two in my personal opinion, but Mourinho's men here are still a very strong force to be reckoned with, and it's going to take a very good performance from Lou in that goal. Even though they didn't play too well against us last episode, they didn't even have a shot on goal, I don't think, in the last episode. So, you know, I'm not really fearing them all that much, but at the same time, they do have the possibility to beat us. And it was actually United with the first chance in this one. It came at the hands of Morgan Schneiderlin taking the strike on, and it was high and rising over the bar. A very, very unfortunate thing for United, but it actually took a deflection on the way through. They got a corner. Lou comes out, commands his area brilliantly. He gets the ball into his hands. I throw it out, looking for a quick breakaway. Give it into Anthony Martial, formerly of United. He holds up play just enough to give it here to Januzaj. Januzaj, a fantastic through ball. How about this for a touch, though, from Anwar El Ghazi, and that finish. Everything about this goal was so perfect. I loved every single minute of that goal. It was just the best goal I've seen scored this season, in my opinion, just for the whole build-up play, not in terms of the technique and everything like that. You can see the players are absolutely over the moon. They couldn't quite believe that inside of 28 minutes of the game, we were leading here at Old Trafford. But that through ball there from Adnan Januzaj into El Ghazi, and then the way El Ghazi brought it down, completely dead, and then just fired that past De Gea, was absolutely brilliant. And De Gea could do nothing about that. That's one of those goals where you just have to sit there and applaud, even if you are the team that's getting scored on by a goal like that, because that was incredible from Anwar El Ghazi. And we were leading in the first 30 minutes, and it got even worse for United, because into the second half we went. 66 minutes on the clock, and it was completely us at this point. We were just absolutely dominant. I was playing good FIFA. Give it into Anwar El Ghazi, and he fires that one past David De Gea again. So he gets himself a second goal here on the score sheet for himself. Fantastic play all around the board. It's nice movement when you're having it off the ball and both on it as well. The passing is very fluid, and it seems to be right now that we're unplayable against this United team, which I have to say, the other two teams in it are Bayern and Roma. So in terms of this one, I think the most difficult team we're going to get is Bayern, but then I'd say Roma is slightly better than United. And you know, you got to look at this and say, United are the second best team in England, man, and yet they are getting completely outplayed by us. So maybe our team's just too good for this United team. And it was 71 minutes into it. Before United really created anything, it was across on the left-hand side. It came back to Morgan Schneiderlin, who lost out actually to Eric Bailly, and it ended up coming here that we actually caught them on the break yet again. United was so poor today on the break. We caught them on the break a couple of times and ended up getting a third goal here at the hands of Ross Barkley. Getting through on goal, a simple finish in the end, past David De Gea. Says, thank you very much. We'll take a 3-goal aggregate lead over to Ellen Rovers, and 3 away goals is absolutely incredible. It means that now United would have to win that game by 4 goals to 1 to even go through on away goals there. So it's incredible to see. We've got the 3 away goals that we needed. We've got the 3-0 victory on aggregate, and it just feels as though right now we should not be going into we should not be going out, basically. We should be in that Champions League final, in my opinion. You've got to say there, completely outplayed United. 3 shots basically in the entire game, 3 goals. Fantastic performance all around the board. I caught them on the counter, and my game plan going into it was to make sure that I sat back, just enjoy my football here at Old Trafford, and catch them on the counter. We caught them on the counter on 3 occasions and managed to hit the back of the net on all 3. So you can see there, 3 shots for both teams, but ours were on target, United's weren't, and we came out as deserved victors in the end. So a fantastic performance from every single player in this Leeds United shirt, and the first goal there, you have to say, from Adnan Januzaj's through ball into the path of Anwar El Ghazi is probably the pick of the bunch. Fantastic ball, and then the way he stops the control completely dead is just absolutely incredible. So That moves us now, guys, into the semi-finals or into the, well, possibly into the final. And we're going to go into the second leg of the semi-final against United at home, of course. But with a 3-0 aggregate lead, if we don't reach that final, I'll be thoroughly disappointed in myself. You can see we're going to do a squad report here. Show you what the players I like at the club currently. I think Joel Green's actually 92 overall now, guys, as well. So that's incredible to see. He's a very, very good player. He hasn't really hit the heights, though, in the later stages of his career. I say later stages. He's still very, very young. I don't know what I'm talking about. But if I continue with this, maybe we'll have him at a 99 rated player. Who knows? I might just sim it and just see if he can ever reach 99. But that's going to pretty much wrap up this episode, guys. From tomorrow's episode, we'll hopefully have that second leg against United, and we'll see if we do, in fact, reach that Champions League final. And, of course, there'll be a few more games for you to actually feast your eyes upon and watch. So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, smash that like button. And as always, thank you all so much for the support you're showing on the series and on the channel. We hit 600 subscribers. That's mental. I appreciate every comment, like, subscription that you guys give me. And it's just mental to see that people I don't even know are watching these videos. So that's incredible. So thank you again for your continued support. And hopefully you'll stick with me for the future. And I'll catch you all in the next episode of Career Mode tomorrow. Adios.